I'm Father Baraga. I was born in the northwestern part of what is now Slovenia in 1797. My country was separated by war, the Napoleonic Wars and misery within the Habsburg dynasty. But it served me well. You see, during those times I learned French and German, in addition to the Latin and Greek that I was studying in school. By the time I was 14, I was orphaned and I went to live with a friend of the family. While I was there, I even considered getting married. But I entered law school at the University of Vienna. But I was drawn by something else, something more spiritual. And then I met St. Clement Hofbauer, who taught me the teachings of the Redemptorist movement of St. Augustus Liguori. As you Americans say today, the Redemptorists walked the walk and talked the talk. As missionaries, we were engaged in self-denial and living the way that we wanted living in the way that our converts lived. After I graduated from law school, I went into the seminary. And after I was ordained, I knew my calling. For if St. Clement was the messenger, the message was God, was our Lord. And I studied in Cincinnati learning English. And it was there in Cincinnati where I met a young man from the Odawa Nation. He was from L'arbre Croche, the crooked tree. I knew I had to go there. I knew I had to mission to the people. And so, henceforth, when I say the people, this is to whom I am referring, the first people of Michigan. And I was in L'Arbre Croche, and from there I went to Grande Rivière, although you would say Grand Rapids. And then from there to Le Point, Wisconsin. I hesitate to talk about my accomplishments. My accomplishments wouldn't have been made without the grace of God. I saw so many miracles. One day we were traveling on the peninsula across to Little Detroit Island, and a storm blew up. And we prayed and prayed and arrived safely on the shore. And there I ministered for 8 days, gained many converts, and baptized many as well. But our supplies were lying low. And so it was, we left on the second day, not knowing what would happen. And up in the sky, a miracle, a flock of birds led us to the shore, and there on the shore, we gathered 130 eggs, which saw us to our destination. Another time, you see, many times I was in a hurry. It wasn't really something I'm proud of. But we decided to take a shortcut across Lake Superior. Oh yes, you know what happens then. A storm blew up. And we approached the craggy shore, and the man who accompanied me, Louis, we prayed and prayed, and ahead of us lay the rocky shore, but through the mist we could see a river, a calm river, and we made that river and erected a cross, and to this day it's called Cross River. I had stayed there for a while and ministered, and I had to go at another time from Le Point in Wisconsin to Ontonagon. Well, it was late in the winter. I thought we could take the ice bridge. Well, Louis accompanied me. The ice broke, and a strong wind pushed us out into Lake Superior. But then we prayed and prayed and the wind changed and blew us into the shore. And I had to reach down to Louis and say, see, we traveled very far without a whole lot of work. The French, the voyageurs, they despised my missionary work. I believed it was their belly that was their God. One day, I heard one of my flock among the people say, "Maudit chien." And I looked at him. I said, I was in cross. Where did you hear that word? And he pointed at the voyageurs. I said, do you know what these words mean? He said, no. Only that he had heard the voyageurs say them. You see, in French it means damn dog. The voyageurs never welcomed me. In fact, one night in Grand Riviere, they were so upset with me, they tried to burn down my house, and it was only the intervention of the sheriff that saved my life, and of course, the intervention of our Lord. In 1853, I was named Bishop of the Diocese of Marquette. Earlier, we had many immigrants coming to Michigan to work in copper and iron mines, and they showed great prejudice against the people. And so my training as a lawyer came in, as you say, came in handy, for I advocated for their equal rights up until the day I died in 1868. Many people say that because of my traveling, especially across the Keweenaw, you see in the language of the people that means walk across. And in the wintertime, I walked across it to minister. And that's why I became known as the snowshoe priest. Merci, my friends.